Alright guys, before we jump into this video, I just want to say really quick, in the description, find my Discord down there, that you'll be able to chat with me there. Also, leave your comments of anything I missed out. I'll probably make another one on this, just to catch up on your stuff. Leave some fighters you want in this game, and yeah, enjoy the video guys. What's going on guys, welcome back to a brand new video. And we've got some Fight Night Champ in the background because yet again we are talking about the new eSports Boxing Club by Steel City Interactive. Something I'm very much looking forward to. You guys seem to be very much looking forward to it. As you know, we probably won't be seeing a Fight Night anytime soon. But I'm absolutely buzzing for this. So I thought I would do a wish list like I did with UFC 4. This game, yes, obviously with trailers and screenshots, can sometimes be misleading. You know, we expected more with UFC 4 and we didn't get it. But we can't always hold every game to that level. You know, we have to say, okay, some games, the trailers, the screenshots are all true to the actual game. Like, God of War, games like that. That's just on the top of my head. I was just thinking, mainly it's story games, but you know, there's not many games where they get it bang on with the trailers and screenshots. But let's hope this is one of them. So remember, guys, this has nothing to do with EA Sports, so it most likely won't be like Fight Night. There's a few things I do bring up Fight Night in this list, but overall, it's not going to be like Fight Night. We need to remember that it's going to be a true to the real world boxing game, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So let's get into this video. So first things we're going to start is focus on the gameplay, which is what it seems like these guys are actually doing. From the screenshots, the mocaps, things like that, it seems like their main focus, other than having realistic looking fighters, is to get a real, like, true to the world boxing experience when you fight. Another thing on top of that, I'm just going to jump in here quickly with this one, is I want doctor stoppages, obviously, because they were in Fight Night. I'd like to have them in this boxing game as well. So what I mean by that is someone who does train, someone who has had a fight, I want to play it and I want to be like, wow, this is realistic, you know. Yes, you can have realistic fight in other fighting games like UFC games, but sometimes it's like it doesn't feel like a real martial arts fight. Whereas this game, I want to have a real fight. It can be up to 12 rounds. In boxing, you can obviously have your 3 rounds like I did. You have your 6-round fights, your 8-round fights, your 10-round fights, your 12-round fights. And, you know, sometimes in a 12-round fight, you know, the first 5 to 6 rounds, it can be a filling out process. It seems like when you watch a boxing match, yes, there can be those bang, 1-round knockouts, boom, done job, you know, 2nd round, 3rd round knockouts. But sometimes when you get 2 top tier fighters, the top of the top of the top, like for example, Triple G versus Canelo, their second fight, you know, their first fight ended in a draw. I think Triple G won that personally. Their first fight ended in a draw. And the first round, Canelo only landed 12 of his 36 punches thrown, and Triple G only landed 14 of his 47 thrown. So in 3 minutes, they landed a combined 26 shots, which is not a lot, really. Not every fight is a slugfest from the get-go, and these are two of my favourite fighters, and this was a great fight. I was never bored during this fight, and they started off, it was a real technical fight. They started off slow, and then they got into it. They started to throw their big, heavy shots at each other later in the fight. They started to, you know, Canelo did get Triple G with that big hook that he lands, and Triple G just shrugged that shit off. He was like, nah, what? It doesn't matter. And that's what I want the fight, you know. I want the game to be able to have those things where you can have your guard up with each other, head to head, and you just go body hook, head hook, guard up again. And then the opponent might go hook, guard up. And then you go hook, you know, straight, hook, step back, straight, bang, guard back up again. Uppercut, hook, you know, from inside that really close. Yes, there is a lot of distance when it comes to it, but I would like to have, you know, a real mix-up of fights. You know, Canelo has had fights where he is using his range and he's using his feints, and it's a, you know, great fight. Same as Triple G, whereas Triple G's had fights where he's just gone and steamrolled people. Same with Canelo. He has just gone and steamrolled people, dropped them 4 or 5 times with body shots, and then just finished them. They can't take the pressure anymore. And I'd like the experience when you play to be like that. Even when you play online, like, you know, you might go back to your corner and be like, okay, I've lost those rounds. I've lost the first 3 or 4 rounds. Okay, no big deal. Let me readjust. You know, what's this fighter doing? Yes, you can do that in any game. But I feel like with a realistic boxing game, it's so much easier to adjust and to say, okay, for these next couple of rounds, I'm going to keep them at range. And say if that does happen, say if you get rocked in the 3rd round, you're able to keep them at range for the next 2 rounds, not get hurt much. You should almost, in a sense, recover. And yes, you do have fights where the first round will go well, feeling out process, then bang, one big shot, it's over. And that does happen. For example, where Ruiz hit AJ that one punch across the temple, that was the fight done then. You know, yes, the fight didn't get ended for another 3 rounds, but that was the fight, in my opinion. Once he landed that and the legs went and he was flailing all over the place, that was over at that point, in my opinion. And, you know, he didn't, you know, Ruiz just rushed him and kept going at him and at him and at him. And that does sometimes happen. And it is tough because, you know, no one wants to be playing a game and get caught with one shot and you get rocked and your fighter then not really be with it for the rest of the fight. And you're like, well, I've lost this one, but that's the point of it. And that's what I would like. Yes, I'd be annoyed, but I'd be like, well, it's fucking realistic. I give you that for sure. Next up with the gameplay is I'd love to see things like rocked states. So like when you're hurt to the body, to the head, things like that. Not be told to us. Not have the screen go red. Not have the health bars, you know, flashing. Not have the controller vibrating. None of that. None of like, you know, or the fighter all over the place like he's pissed. You know, you get it in fights. Yes, you do get fighters where they fall all over the place, and, you know, that is unfortunately just the way it can. But some fighters have really good poker faces. I'd like to see the rock stage shown to us by the fighter's movement, the fighter's reaction. I'm all up for stamina bars on your fighter and health bars on your fighter, but not on your opponents. Yes, sometimes it is good to have that if you're at a lower level of gaming or you know, you're not as familiar with the sport. I think it is good. But I think for maybe all online and all career mode outside of practice, I think there should be no bars and no givens for stun states, hurt states, things like that. Because in my opinion, there's no bars in real life. There's no health bars in real life telling you when they're hurt. It should be about knowing when to throw those big punches and reading your opponent's body language. You know, so against Liam Smith, I just had to Google it quickly. Against Liam Smith, Canelo hurt him with a series of body shots, and he did have a good poker face for a while, but Canelo read it and carried on attacking that body until he literally broke down. And then he broke down and that was it. It was game over for him. He couldn't carry on. He took so many shots to the body, and after that first body shot, Canelo was like, you know what, he's got a good poker face, but I know I'm hurting him. And you see sometimes someone will get hit with a big body shot and they'll be fine for the first few seconds, then that pain sets in. It's not always bang, instant rock. It, you know, that hits them and then they kind of go, huh, and then because they're holding their breath, the pain sets in, and then they have to crunch over and fall to the ground. And I'd like to see that when it comes to the hurting and the fighting in general. Alright guys, before we jump in the next section, before we finish this gameplay part, I'm just going to jump in here real quick. I forgot to say something. One thing I want to see as well, on top of the gameplay, you know, with the feel of the game, a real technical fight, like I said, I'd love to have, you know, the combos be clean, the combos be crisp. You know, sometimes I feel like in games, they limit it at a certain amount of punches you throw. And I feel like, you know, we all feel like that. You know, when you're actually, if any of you train martial arts, you know, Muay Thai, I know, you know, this is a boxing game, but whether it's boxing or kickboxing or Muay Thai, you know, there's no such thing as just a 4-hit combo. You can work it and you can constantly do better, and not just like, you know, throwing tons of hooks. You know, you could, you know, obviously in a game it may be tough to pull things that you can do in real life off, depending on how they make the controls, but you know, I feel like in UFC 4 there's a limited amount of buttons you can put together before you can't throw a powerful combo. But you know, from training, I'm sure, I know a lot of you guys train, and see a lot of young people in the comments that do train, you know, you could throw, you know, one, you know, jab, straight, hook, slip, body hook, strafe, head hook, step back, 1, 2, 3, step back 2, you know, move your head kind of thing. You can throw a lot and it all works together, it all flows nicely. So hopefully they do that. I personally, from watching even the best on YouTube, and it's not even like me, you know, I'm not the best UFC player, from watching the best, you know, I don't see 9-10 hit combinations like you see in the real ring of boxing. You know, you do see a lot of shots being thrown, a lot of clean combos. Yes, some of them bounce off the gloves. That doesn't mean that stops your combo though. You know, you could go 1, 2, 3 and they could block the glove, but then you just come straight up the pipe with the 2. You come back up with the, you know, the lead uppercut, because you've opened the guard with the 2, lead uppercut, step back again, jab, jab, moving, drop to the body, straight, hook to the body, step back, you know, things like that. You whether or not it's because the controls aren't letting it be done in current games like UFC and like Fight Night Champions. I appreciate Fight Night Champions is old and it will always be a classic. It's a fantastic game, but I'd really like to see things like that come to fruition in this game, and have it, you know, it doesn't mean it's going to be spammy, because the way to avoid something like that is you just step back. I know that sounds stupid. Yes, if you're in the corner, that is unlucky, but that's how you use the shoulder roll. I don't know if you guys saw what Fury done when he was on the ropes. He shoulder rolled. He pushed the guy's strikes away. That's what he done. You know, shoulder roll, shoulder roll, shoulder roll. Floyd Mayweather used to, you know, the shoulder roll, or, you know, the Mayweather shuffle, or whatever he decided to call it. But he used to roll it off his shoulder and then come back with that. That's the defense. You know, you could move your head. You could dodge all those. You know, a straight, you know, a jab, straight, hook, body hook is easy to dodge because you could go slip, lean, step back, and they're going to miss. You know, I think they need to make sure when they play the game, they don't just do it for all the casual boxers. They should make it in the real middle ground. So, you know, you can land them big combinations, but there's nothing wrong with just throwing the basics. But anyways, guys, I'm going to let pass, study, carry on. So, yeah. So, enough of the gameplay points. Cornermen. There's proof already. They put on their Twitter that Eddie Reynoso, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, he's part of Team Canelo. I think this is fantastic. I would love to see full corners, you know, realistic corners, not just made-up corners, not just computer-generated corners. I would like to see, you know, if they were lucky enough to get fighters like Canelo in the game, to have his corner man. And same as Ryan Garcia, he's part of Team Canelo, or at least he trains with Canelo, should I say. I'd like to see, you know, his corner in. Davis, I'd love to see, you know, sometimes Mayweather in the crowd. I know they can't get Mayweather, so that's not going to happen. That's just, you know, that's kind of a pipe dream. We know Mayweather's not going to be in. He's too expensive, and he's not with being in these games. But, you know, same with the UK lot. Tyson Fury, you know, he's now at the Bronx gym. The Bronx gym, my apologies, I misspoke there. And, you know, so it'd be good to see those legendary trainers really there, you know. And I know it's a terrible example, but, like, up in Big Bear where Jake Paul trained, I know he's not a fighter. I don't class him as a fighter, but he had Shane Mosley in his corner. It would be cool to see people like that, you know, like those cornermen actually in the game. I think that'd bring a real life part. And maybe during the career mode, you can choose your corner and you can choose where you go. I think that'd be fucking sweet to really have real trainers. And, you know, they used to do it back in UFC Undisputed 3 with THQ. You had Greg Jackson, things like that. And I think this would be a really good opportunity. And I think the way they've done this with Team Canelo, with Eddie Reynoso is wicked. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm hoping they get more and more cornermen. Next up, obviously, is a huge, exciting roster, is what I'd love to see. Not just the top heavyweights, but all the weights, to have some depth, with even the up-and-comers and world champs. I'm not saying we can't have world champs, I'm just saying I want the up-and-comers. Obviously, people want AJ and Fury. I see that unlikely, because I think EA have got them, because AJ is in both UFC and FIFA. Whether or not they chose to do it because they wanted to just have a bit of fun and they want to be in those games, or if EA made them sign a contract so they can't go anywhere else, that would be a shame. But personally, like I said before, I'm not bothered. Just some of the fighters that I want to see in the game. This is in no particular order. Some of these are big names, some of these aren't as big names. So obviously we're starting with some of my favourites in Gervonta Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, Canelo Alvarez, Triple D, obviously Daniel Dubois, Inouye, the Charlo brothers, Jamel and Jamal, Ryan Garcia, Clarissa Shields, Fabio Wardley, Artur Beterbiev, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford, Alexander Usyk. All these fighters I would love to see in the game. And I mean, from all those weight classes, you got featherweight, lightweights, middleweights, super middleweights, heavyweights, bantamweights. You know, female like Clarissa Shields, I'd love to see her in the game. She's one of my favourite fighters. Katie Taylor, I'd love to see her as well. Fabio Wardley, I believe, recently won the British or the English title. I always get it the wrong way around. He won that. Artur Beterbiev is the light heavyweight champion. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao, just a legend. And yeah, you know, fighters like that would be fantastic to see those types of fighters in the game. Next up, and finally, is customization. I'm a huge customization guy. I'm a real nerd for this shit. You know, I love it in all games. I try and cover it in every game I do, every wish list, every game I do. The first thing I do is check the customization. No jokes, guys. There's been some games where the customization has not been that good. I've not played it. That's how sad I am. So, you know, it's huge to me. And I said I wouldn't bring up, you know, I said that, you know, it's not going to be like Fight Night. But hopefully, anything similar to Fight Night Champion, their customization in career was pretty good. And while I'm saying I don't want it to be like Fight Night, I'd like the amount of choices to be about the same. Even if it's not with brands, even if Steel City aren't able to get Nike and Adidas, I don't think, you know, I doubt they'll watch this video, but I don't think we'd ever be bothered if they couldn't get brands, or big brands anyways. If they couldn't get any brands, I say they just make up a bunch of brands, do it in rankings, make them cooler, and just give us the customization choice of all colours, all styles. You know, when it comes to shoes, do, you know, medium lows, really high lace up ones. You know, straps over. When it comes to shorts, do the gladiator shorts, do the long short, you know, the long down to your knee boxing shorts, do the up high Muhammad Ali shorts. You know, allow us to put like fur on it, like Gervonta Davis had in one of his fights. You know, allow us to have, you know, kind of the slim, almost like a slim fit. Lomachenko always seems like he has kind of a slim fit short style with his purple on. and I think that'd be really cool to do. And same with gloves. I'd like to, you know, have a variety of style of gloves, not just the same basic ones, you know, whether it's customization of the thumb part and then the hand and then the wrist, even those, because you can mix them colours up so much. And I'm not bothered about brands, I just want tons of choices and combinations when it comes to the colours. And obviously, we want a good career. You know, from what they've said so far, it does look like it's going to be good. You're going to be able to win the Ring TV magazine title and the WBC title. I'm hoping it's not repetitive. I'm hoping there's tons of replayability. I don't want it to be a one-time thing and then it be done. I'd love to be able to play it through a few times in lots of different weight classes. And one thing I'm hoping for in the career is you can move up and down as you see fit. You know, maybe you have a few fights at featherweight, your fighter struggles to cut the weight, you say fuck it, let's go up to super featherweight. It'd be cool to see, you know, because boxing has so many weight classes and such a variety in a few pounds. It's not like you need to go, oh, I'm a lightweight, I need to go up to middleweight. You can, you know, there's so many weight classes between, you know, lightweight and middleweight. There's tons. You've got so many weight choices, and I think that'd be a really cool option for us to have finally in a fighting game, to be able to just say, you know what, I'll take that fight at super lightweight. You know, you know, why not? Why not? You know, I'm fit, I'm young, I can do it. I think that'd be a really cool choice. I think that'd be something really cool they could capitalize on, that a lot of us want, that maybe not many people talk about. But that's pretty much it, guys. I probably will be making another one of these just because I'm sure you guys are going to have tons of comments and tons of suggestions for me. So make sure you leave them in the comments down below. I really appreciate all the support on these videos. Don't forget to go in the description, join the Discord so you guys can chat with me, become a member if you want. I'm going to be streaming soon. I can stream again in 2 days' time, guys. So make sure you get ready for that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.